I got welcome to episode 1, the Rap Talk Show. Listening to Lo, this your boy Lo Wood. Now I ask you to do is listen with 2 ears and 1 mouth. So we're going to go ahead and get it started. We're going to tell you who, what, when, where, and why, and how it started, where it's at, where it's going, and where it's going to end today. Boy, we got some great information for you today. Before we even get started, you have to make sure that you listen very carefully, you listen very well, because you might just miss something. If you ain't listening to Lo, I don't know who you listen to, because Lo knows. Lo knows sports, Lo knows coaching, Lo knows mentorship, and Lo knows how to train. I'm just Lo Wood. Yeah, a little black boy from Apopka, better known as APK. You know we bleed that blue. Well, you might know it better than that. Home of the Warren Sapp. Yeah, you know it. Hall of Famer. Yeah. First round draft pick. Yes. 100 greatest NFL player. Yes. Super Bowl champ. You know it. Pro Bowler. And all said and done, guess what? Hall of Famer. But it'll get better than that. He got some partners came along with it from a little small city called Apopka. We're talking about Sammy Smith, first round draft pick. We're going to break it down to Brandon Motherwell, the first round draft pick, and even that guy, Aaron Jones Jr. Carter Pro Bowl Hall of Fame, the first round draft pick, the first from Apopka, Florida, to go to the NFL on the first round draft pick. That's just where we're from. But you might want to know where I'm going at with this here. A lot of people don't know how it started. Same time, same grind, same mindset. We all had the same similar dreams. We all want to go to NFL, but have to remember something. The NFL is a dream, a college degree is reality. Even though that's about to change right now, we're about to say D1 is a dream, right, and a college degree is a reality. But we'll talk about that a little later on in a couple of different episodes. But right now, I want to tell you about listening to Lo and why you should listen to Lo, and just make sure you lock in very carefully. I'm just a little boy right from Apopka. Yep, the one that went down to Phyllis Wheeler Elementary that signed itself up for youth sport without his mom, without his dad. The dad was gone. Mama was working 14 hours a day sometime, 12 hours a day. She couldn't go with me to sign up for football, so I took myself to sign up for football. That's how it went. That's how it worked. You probably can relate to that there. But what you really might need to think of, relating to the fact that someone seen my talent. Someone recognized what I was doing. Someone appreciated me coming to try out to play football, to do something, to pursue my dream, to be an NFL player. And that was a coach. That coach seen it. That coach said, we got you. We're going to take care of you. We're going to learn you how to play the game of football. And he did it. He took us in. He picked us up. He dropped us off. He did all of that right there for we not get in trouble. He even said, you know what? If we win, I'm going to take you to McDonald's. I'm like, why McDonald's? Because he got a free gift if you catch a touchdown. He gave me incentives that made sure I had the opportunity to go to McDonald's. He said, well, why McDonald's was so important? Because McDonald's was hard to go to. My mother never could take us to McDonald's. McDonald's? Are you kidding me? Go to McDonald's and buy food? What? No. You got to go in here and eat this spiced salmon bread. That's what you got to go do. And that was the mindset back then. But guess what? All I knew, if I be successful on this field, I am going to get rewarded. And every single game, I make sure I caught me a touchdown. When I caught that touchdown, they gave me a coupon for 1 free Big Mac. And every week I got that Big Mac. I did it. He made a promise to me as a coach. He told me, you do well, I will reward you. And that's what he did. But that kept on going. That kept on going to the next level. All the way we got down to high school. The same thing applied. The man told me the same thing when I went to high school. He told me if you are successful, I will reward you. That's another coach that stepped into my life then. He said, you know what? You catch a touchdown, I'm going to take you to Quincy's, to a buffet and get you a steak and potatoes. I asked him one question. What is a steak? I'm like, all I know is chicken. I didn't know what a steak was. He said, that's a better meat. I said, no problem. Sure enough, playing my high school years, I get there, we line up in a game. My quarterback, Dan LaForest, lined up. We're playing against Boone High School, and I caught 4 passes for 4 touchdowns in 1 game. I was rewarded for that, too. They took me to Quincy, got the steak, got the potato. I knew I had an opportunity of being great. But it kept on going from there, because now it's time to move to another sport. I didn't just do one sport. I did multiple sports. Football, track, wrestling, basketball, 4 sports, but I was only good in 2 sports. But I did all 4 to make sure that I stay out of trouble. I continue doing what I need to do to be the best. I made sure that I'm always around people that really want to take care of me, that really want me to be successful, that really want me to grow as a young man, as a father, maybe one day a husband, and just a great person. So I got, with that being said, I started running track. Man, I was like, man, what is track? They said, you got to beat the other person. But guess what happened in that sport? It was so crazy. I lined up and running, jumping over some tires. The guy seen my talent. Another coach. He said, I want you to run track. He said, I want you to run the hurdles. I said, okay, I'll run the hurdles. I run out there jumping over hurdles. And sure enough, they liked what I was doing. They seen me. They said, man, I think you can be good in the hurdles. I said, you think so, coach? I said, yes. I said, well, show me how to do it. The coach said, I don't know how. Just jumping like you jump the tires. No track coach, really. He showed me a little bit. Another coach seen me and say, let me help you jump them hurdles. I remember that and said, man, I kind of like this right here. This might work out for me here. I wasn't the fastest on the team in the 100. I wasn't fast in the 200, but guess what happened? Got them hurdles, it was on. Next thing you know, I'm in high school, and here it is, I'm lining up, getting ready to go for the regional championship. I got 4 guys lining beside of me, all ran the 100 meters. I wasn't the fastest, but in that race alone, I won the regional championship. I broke the standard. I broke the record at our school. I ran a 14.01 and 110 high hurdles. I said, this is it. But I knew the next week gonna be the state championship, and there's gonna be some more guys coming to town. They had faster time than me. I was fast in this region, but I didn't know how I'm gonna be in that region. So I went into this guy named Mike Robeson. I asked this man, I said, hey, can you help me win the state championship? I need a little bit more help. Mike Robeson told me, yes, I can help you, Lo. He was training a kid named Philip Riley, who ended up winning all the state championship and breaking records at Florida State. He told me, I can help you. I said, yeah. He said, come to Jones High School. I got my mom's car, drove to Jones High School. I walked up to him, Mike Robeson, who also trained one of the fastest hurdlers in the world, Ronaldo Nehemiah, who ran 12.9 and 110 high hurdles. That man told me I need $500. Whoa. I said, $500? Yes, it cost $500 to train with me. I was defeated. I was hurt. How am I gonna win state when that man don't coach me? What am I gonna do now? Well, I'm gonna get $500 from. Mom working 14 hours. Dad is not in the picture. We live in Taylor's apartment, 127 East 15th Street, eating spiced salmon bread, mayonnaise sandwiches, right? No carpet on the floor, one heater in the wall, no air condition, roll the windows up at night to get some fresh air. Where in the world are we gonna get $500 from? Nowhere. But that didn't stop me. That didn't stop my drive to be a state champion. You know what I did? I left, drove around the corner, jumped out the car, went behind the building, and watched him train Philip Riley. Watch him train Ronaldo Nehemiah. Just watch and took the techniques and what he was teaching. I went back to school, practice on it, practice on it, and practice on it. Came up for the state championship. I lined up. I'm ready to go. Got the best of the best and take off. Before I know it, I'm in first place on the 6th hurdle. I'm about to do it. I'm about to win, be a state champion. I hit a hurdle. Came in 6th place. Wow. I didn't win. I wasn't a winner. But I know I won in one way or another because I gave it my all. I did whatever it takes to be the best. I had that dream. And I walked off, and here come a reporter. He walked up to me and said, Buddy. Buddy asked me, he said, Lo, you did a great job. We had you pick the win. You didn't win it. He said, what's next for you, Lo Wood? I'm 18 years old. He walked in my face. He put a camera in my face. He said, what next for you? What are you going to do now? You're a good football player. You broke records. You're top of your class right now. What's next for Lo Wood? I looked up in the air. I brought it down, and I said, I'm going to be a businessman and a coach. I didn't say I'm going to NFL. I didn't say I'm going to be a first-round draft pick. I didn't say that's what I'm going to do a professional. I said I'm going to be a businessman and a coach. I'm going to be a professional in another way. And sure enough, that right there alone is what started my journey as being Coach Lo for life. How did I continue that journey? I didn't know where to go with this. I'm thinking like, maybe I'll just get a job and work. Maybe I'll go to the military. My mom always said 2 things. You go to college or you go to the Army. Well, you know what? I chose college. When I got ready to go to college, Some of you might even relate to this right here. This is an interesting one here. I done knew I was going to Miami Hurricanes. I done knew I was going to Oklahoma. I even thought I was going to West Point. They all offered me. I'm going. I'm Lowood. Right? 4 touchdowns, 1 game. Regional champ. Unofficial time, 13.89, 14.01 champion. No coach. They told me about it. They gave me tips. I was to watch other guys. I was a student to the game at 18 years old. Didn't know where I was going with this. Single year, where you going? Miami Hurricanes said, we can't take you because you didn't pass the test. You did not pass the SAT test. You did not pass the ACT test. What are we doing? They didn't tell me about that. They didn't tell me to go take that test. I said, what test you talking about? Matter of fact, that single year, I went to school, left school, and went to Westside Votech and took a carpenter class. I didn't know I had to have a certain qualification. No one told me. No one talked to me. No, the guy that counted bring me in and say, you need this to go to college. The coach just said, you better go take the test. No one gave me a tutor. No one helped me. I was like, wow, where do I go from here? And our coach said, I'll play at UCF. Mike Cullers, I'll play at UCF. Here's what I'm going to do for you, Lo. I'm going to talk to UCF and see can they find you a junior college. I said, okay. So he talked to UCF. UCF said, yes, we got a school for you called Northeastern Oklahoma A&M. He said, they're going to take you in. I said, no problem. Thank you. I called my mom and said, Mom, I'm going to college. She said, when? I said, in June. She said, where? I said, Oklahoma. She said, how? I got to get on a plane. With what money? I don't know. So my mom called my grandmother and said, he needs some money to go on a plane. My grandma said, okay. She went to this program. They gave me another $250 for food. We pack up. I told my mom it's time for me to go to college. I'm going to Miami, Oklahoma, not Miami. Spell the same, but it's Miami, not Miami. I called my friend Alfred. He said, I'm finna leave. My best friend, I'm finna leave and go to college. He said, how you getting there? I said, my mom gonna take me. I called my mom. I said, hey, ready to go? She said, how you getting there? I said, you gonna take me? She said, I don't know how to get to the airport. Well, I said, I got to go. The flight leave at 4 o'clock. So I called Alfred. I said, you know how to get to the airport? I said, yeah, we fly all the time to New York to my grandparents' house. Here my 18-year-old friend going with me to the airport with my mom. We go to the airport. We go in, we park. I got a suitcase, that's it. $250, an airline ticket, going to the airport. I go to security. I get ready to go through security. And I said, okay, bye. And I just start walking security. My mom said, wait, where you going? I said, I'm going to, they say, go through here. My mom asked me, you not give me a hug before you go? I said, oh, that's right. I didn't know. I never been on an airplane. I never experienced that. I never experienced leaving my mama going somewhere. I never had that experience. I didn't know I was supposed to hug when we leave. So we ain't going nowhere from Taylor apartment to down the road to grandmother's house. No one never know. Why I gotta give her a hug to go to my grandmother's house? Why I gotta do that? I don't have to. I never forget that. I get on the plane, I land, guess who's waiting on me? A coach. A coach was waiting on me. Another coach in my life. There it is. There it is, that coach. I'm starting seeing it come now. I get there. He take me to a restaurant. He said, what you like to eat? I said, soul food. He said, no problem. I got the best place for you. He took me to an Indian restaurant and ordered me shrimp fried rice with pecans, with cashews. I said, this is not soul food. He said, oh, okay. And I ate it anyway. Know why? I never experienced it. Whoa, I just experienced my first a different meal. Wow. We drive down to Miami, Oklahoma. We get there. We line up. Everybody put their gear on. We go out on the field, and I realize we don't have a wide receiver coach. What's happening here? Let's say now I look around again. The guy named Chris Penn played at, ended up transfer going to Tulsa. Left Tulsa or Toledo, ended up going to San Diego Chargers. He out there, he had 42 touchdowns, all this stuff in school. Thank God, another coach taught me how to run routes, named Greg Thompson, I'm gonna call him out, he's a great guy, taught me how to run a route tree. I get there in college, I'm running the route tree. No one else there know how to run a route tree but me. Every time I line up, they say, y'all better watch him because he's smooth. So they gave me the nickname, La Smooth. I said, okay. So I started running all my routes. Everybody started saying, well, man, this guy run all these routes. This boy good. Lo, we want you to be the wide receiver coach. I'm 19 now. I'm the wide receiver coach at Northeastern Oklahoma, coaching guy. And all the said and done, I'm gonna make this one a long story short so I can keep moving, right? This is the crazy part right here. They all went to NFL. Chris Penn went to San Diego Chargers or Chicago. Carr Kid, Raiders. Hudson, Minnesota Viking. Lo Wood, get hurt. Came home. Whole life changed. Start a family. New journey. Maybe that wasn't my passion. Maybe that wasn't my purpose. Maybe there's a different purpose. Cause don't forget, that man asked me, what you gonna be when you grow up? What's next for Lo Wood? I said, a businessman and a coach. I had coaches impacting me all my life. Soon as I get home, the first thing hit my mind was to be a businessman and a coach. So I knew my purpose, what our purpose knew me. God gave me that purpose already, but I didn't know it until I came home, since I couldn't play football no more. I knew it. That means everyone might not be made out to go to college. Everybody not be made out to play football. Everybody not be made out to go to NFL, but there's a purpose. Everyone have a purpose. My purpose was to coach youth kids. And that's what I did in 1991. Start coaching youth kids. When I started coaching them youth kids, I didn't know what was happening. And I started doing it. When I started coaching youth kids, everything changed for me. My eyes opened up. I seen the vision. I seen the vision right there, that I am here to impact lives so they can go on to pursue their dream, to be in the NFL. That was their dream. But the reality still come back to getting a college degree. When all said and done, that's what I did. I coached youth sport, won a state championship. Kept moving up again, coach again, won a national championship. I knew it, that was it for me. But here was even more interesting. I didn't plan on continuing doing the coaching until I get a phone call saying, hey, your son needs you. I said, wow, what you mean? Yeah, your son needs you. I mean, I'm like, okay, need me to do what? And I got my son. And that when everything changed a full 180. And that's when I started coaching even more and getting more in-depth in coaching. And that's when the legacy truly began. That's when the purpose truly began. Because I knew if I did not come home, I don't know where I would have been. If I didn't come home and start coaching, I don't know where I would have been at that time. But coming home and coaching youth sports and taking my son and meeting all these kids and seeing they were going through the same thing I went through when I was younger, seeing that I had experience that I can roll off to them. I seen that what they needed was me, and I needed them. I knew right then my passion was to help youth kids. My passion was to coach. My passion was to impact lives, change lives. My passion was to make sure these kids can come out to be a good husband, a good father, a good man, and a great football player. That was the passion. That was the purpose in life from God for me. That's why I do it, and that's why I do what I do. And that's why I roll that right into other sports. I realized they can't just do one sport. You should do multiple sports. That's why I started taking them to basketball. Half of them couldn't dribble. They played defense good, but they couldn't dribble. That might not be the sport for you, but you had fun. None of them could. They wrestle, but they ain't like it. Wrestling on each other. They ain't like that part. I took them to baseball. They told me, it's boring. They didn't want to play baseball. Even though they paid the most money. But they didn't know what made it even better than that. We found our love for track. We put them on that track. And we lined them up in that track. It changed their lives. You say, what I mean by that? It changed their lives because not only was it for them to run and compete to be the best, it was also for them to experience different parts of the world. That track took them on a journey. It took them all over places. So when we created Florida Elite Track Club as coaches, when we knew right then that we had something special. I was able to implement the hard work and the dedication that I had into these youth kids' life. I was able to impact them easily, taking these kids all around the world. I never forget this quick story I tell you right quick. And this is a good part right here. We the fastest in the nation. Opportunity to go play, running for a national championship in Eugene, Oregon. How are we going to get there? How are we going to get to Eugene, Oregon? You know how we got there? Someone seen what we was doing. A man seen our passion. See, when you're doing great things, people recognize what you're doing. When you're doing everything built on integrity, they recognize what you're doing. When you're doing it with passion, they recognize what you're doing. A man, Michael, recognized what we was doing, impacted us, supported us, donated us to us, and he put all us on an airplane and flew to Eugene, Oregon. We get on the plane, I turned around and asked all the kids, who been on a plane before? Not one kid raised their hand. These kids got a chance to go on a plane for the first time ever to Eugene, Oregon, compete on the Fontaine track, the Olympic track, the best track of all. They did something they're going to be able to cherish the rest of their life and tell kids all over the world. Tell their own kids, I ran on that track. I was a national champion on that track. They seen it. That was a start of something even better. Because not only was there a national champion in track, there was a national champion in football, there was a national champion in heart, mind, and soul. And I was glad to be able to be part of that. But here's what even more intriguing than that. Because of that, I was impacted, not just from winning a national champion, I was able to actually get a job because someone seen that I deserve something better. Now, I was just, at this moment here, I'm just working, driving trucks for a living. Someone seeing my talent, gave me a chance to come to a resort and work. Gave me a chance to change my family life forever. And that's what I did. I came to Westgate Resort in 2004. And right now, today, not only impacting the resort itself, not only impacting sales itself, not only getting parents, I'm giving parents jobs at this resort that changed and impacted their life. I became one of the top writers, part of the $1 Million Club. That allowed me to travel with my son, Lo, who played at Notre Dame. That allowed me to travel with him, to watch him compete for a national championship, to earn a ring that he looked at me and said, Daddy, it wasn't from you, I wouldn't have been here today. Here go the ring for you, Daddy. That's one for you, because I didn't get one outside of this ring. The impact was crazy. The opportunity to be financially stable because I gave my time and all of the money I had to help these kids from the little city of Apopka, little city of Pine Hills, even kids from Sanford, all over Central Florida came and were able to impact them and coach them up and change their lives. Let them travel the world, be national champions. Someone seen that talent. You never know who's watching. Remember that. You never know who's watching. So always do things with passion and integrity. And that's what I do. That gave me a chance to go to a company. That gave me a chance to become a licensed real estate agent. Never thought I could do that. Licensed real estate agent, a guy that didn't finish college, don't have a college degree, became a coach, and now because of these kids, I'm now a licensed real estate agent, a business owner, impacting kids all over. Then someone else seen my talent, Aaron Jones, he seen my talent too. He said, let's get together and let's do something great for the city of Central Florida by starting a training company. We started a training company, Excel Speed, and next thing you know, there it is again. Now we're impacting people from all over Florida, not just Central Florida. That coaching just kept thriving and kept thriving and kept thriving. That also triggered to other things because I can't fly all over the country if I don't have a job that allow me to. That's why I continue doing what I'm doing. Because thanks to these kids, thanks to the youth, thanks to the coaches that impact my life, I'm able to continue impacting other life too. And it just kept leading, and keep leading, and keep leading, and keep going. Over and over and over, you start seeing opportunities for coaching, opportunities for mentoring, opportunity for training. It say you never get a second chance to make a first impression. That's why I make sure every time when we do it to our best. I do it to my best ability. No if and buts about it. It's there. Now look at it. It done went from local to global, I call it. Or local to national, you want to call it. And now it don't steer from a training company to running camps to now the Camp King. How did that come about? Out of nowhere, all of a sudden now camps has been a big deal. Now because of camps and starting the Camp King and being the Camp King, is now allowed me to go around the nation to share my passion, to share my love, to share my purpose with kids all around the world. Energize them, impact them, help them, support them, love them. Get on them hard, but love it 10 times more. But none of this can be done without the purpose from God. You see why I do it. Lo knows the whole hard struggle. Lo knows coaching. Lo knows mentorship. Lo knows football. Lo knows track. Lo knows volleyball. Lo knows lacrosse. Lo knows his purpose. So with all said and done, we got a lot of great things going to go on the episode. Every week, you're going to start seeing different guests coming in here, sharing their story, sharing their life, telling what helped them, what impacted them. It's the future of our youth. And I'm glad to be part of it. I'm glad to be able to come on here and do a podcast live for not just local, for everyone. Not just the people that's doing sports. There's a lot of people want to see. A lot of people want to hear. A lot of people want to be part of greatness. Because it's a mindset of greatness. It's a commitment of greatness. It's a sacrifice of greatness. And it's a passion of greatness. We will have all four on this episode. Ralph Talk Sports Show. You're going to be listening to Lo. 2 ears, 1 mouth. Follow that lead, because now what? No one else want best for you than Lo would. Episode 1 is here. We're going to get right into it now. We about to dive in it now. We about to take this game to the next level now. Now that you know what it's all about. Hottest topic is out there now. The hottest topic is out now. 7v7 football. 7v7 nationwide, national-wide. It is there now. I mean, no one is talking about nothing else but 7v7. Whether it's professional coaching 7v7, or they're just local coaches that doing 7v7, or they're high school doing 7v7. 7v7 is so hot, it's like Krispy Kreme donuts hotter now. I'm telling you, you got to be ready for it. Because I got my man coming in right now, because he is ready to get into it. He ready to get into 7v7. I'm talking about a youth coach, a youth community leader. I'm talking about a youth mentor. I'm talking about the youth man of all, a commentator of all sports. Y'all got to make sure you're welcome to the Ralph Talk Sports Show. Listen to Lo, my man, Charles Carr. How about that now? What's going on? Let's going on. I'm doing great, Charles. I'm telling you, Charles, I'm so doggone excited today to talk about youth sport, the future of youth sport, not just in Central Florida, not just local. I'm talking about nationwide. And the reason I can talk about it, Charles, because I do go nationwide with the Camp King. And I make sure that everyone understand that youth sport is still our future, but it can be our dooms if we do not believe what it's all about. It's not about the coaches. It's not about the parents. It's about the youth kids.
Absolutely.
That's doing sports. So now I tell you this here before I get into it and I dive into it, Carl. Here's what I want to tell you. 7v7 at once upon a time was the way to come and work on your skills without pass on. 7v7 was take off the helmet, take off the shoulder pad, rest the body, protect the head, less contact, right? Less contact, and work on your skill with your receiver at your school at one point. Then they realized it might not be enough for them guys. So 7v7 said, let's do a tryout. Let's get the best players in the area, bring them together, and let's go compete to be a champion. Now 7v7 done went to, let's be a champion now, right? That's where it went to, right? 7v7 in 2010, when I first got involved with Chris Ash, the first 7v7 in Central Florida, on that team alone, it was about getting better, training, relationship, networking, exposure. So when you came to our tryouts, you had to run a mile, compete, speed and agility training, route running, DB running, quarterback training, put it together, then go compete to be the champion in the state of Florida. That's where it started now. So we go down to South Florida, University of South Florida now. But here's what's interesting about that. When we get there, there was sports writers from Scout.com back then, right? There were sports writers from all these sports writers that wrote for University of Florida, that wrote for Miami Hurricanes, that wrote for South Florida. They was there, and they was in it to win it. They was writing and writing and writing. Guys that wasn't the best or guys that wasn't recognized got recognized. When they got recognized, they wrote a story about that person. They didn't worry about just the big guys. They didn't worry about writing a story on Noel Devine, West Virginia. They didn't worry about writing a story on LaMarcus Joyner, San Francisco 49ers now NFL. They didn't worry about writing a story on just Clinton Dix, Green Bay Packers first-round draft pick. Carl Joseph, first-round draft pick for the Raiders. They ain't worried about them guys so much. They want to find the cream of the crop. They want to find the diamond in the rough. People already knew about the top dog. They want the guy who's going to dominate the top dog. They found the Isaiah Myers, who dominated two guys that went to Florida State in 11 catches in a 7-on-7 game. Next thing you know, this guy at Washington State had 0 offers. Now he at Washington State. He a Pac-12 top player, 88 catches in a year. Wow, 15 touchdowns, about 1,000 yards. Come on. This guy here, they didn't recognize. He was discovered there. But now, times kind of changed a little bit, right? So we used to catch the ball and they shake the hand. We used to catch the ball, they give a high five. You used to catch the ball, what's up, great catch. They used to catch the ball and say, good job. They used to play defense now, man-to-man, pow, he get loose, let him go. That's how I used to play the game. Now the game have changed. I have a rap song too about that called "The Game Has Changed," right? I got a rap song like that. I'm gonna let you hear it one day. But the whole thing have changed now. So here's my question to you. You see how this unfolding. You got a son that plays 7-on-7. He played with his elite team.
Sanford Elite.
Sanford Elite.
Sanford Elite.
Okay, Sanford Elite. Where you see, from what I just told you, what's different now? And do you feel that the high school should have their own 7-on-7 team and nothing else? Or it's okay for them to go play for all different teams and move all around? What's your thoughts on that, Charles?
I say it's okay for them to move around. There's organizations like 24K that are going to fly kids out, and they have an opportunity to go to Las Vegas. They have an opportunity to go to LA. Mm-hmm. So I'm all for exposure because for the most part, they've been doing this in AAU basketball for decades.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So if you're able to have some of the top basketball players move around, then the same thing should be afforded to the high school football players. So I don't have a problem with you stacking the teams and going and playing against other areas mm-hmm. because that's what other states are doing. Now, if everybody else was doing straight high school, then that would be a different story.
Gotcha.
But if they're going to fly out and play the best of the best all-star team out of LA or Vegas, then we should have that too to be able to go out and compete. So I have no problem with that.
Okay. Well, I like what you're saying because I remember back in the days when we started 7-on-7, it was interesting because we paid for the kids to play in the tournaments mm-hmm. and hotel. I remember that clearly how it was. So there's no problem with that. They want to pay for them, want to sponsor them and take it on. That's great. Not a big deal. I have no problem with that either. But now let's just flip the script though, because now you're paying for the kids. Then some of them you don't pay for. Some of them pay, some of them don't. Now we're picking and choosing a little bit. Is that fair, or that's just how it go?
Favor ain't fair. I mean, you think about a lot of these kids who are 4 and 5 stars,
Mm-hmm.
just the marketing that the organizations are going to have for having that player there. If that kid is going to bring notoriety to your program, which is now going to lead to you having more notoriety, and now you're going to get more invites because people want to see this kid.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think an even swap ain't no swindle.
Right. Okay. Well, I like that. But what about the kid that needs some exposure? What about the kid that need to be on a team with the big time player, but he need to play and have some exposure though, right? He's on the team, but if he's not getting no exposure, then what's the purpose of even being on the team? Why even put him on your team? Because there's sometimes you go to the game, some get in, some don't get in, right? He might be the man over here, but then he get on your team. You brought 5 guys from California, then what happened? So what about him? Let's get him some exposure, because there are writers at the 707 still. If I got 4 stars at the game, they coming to my field to watch me play. But this kid right here need a little more work, a little bit more exposure. He got no offers. He want them to write on him so he can go to the colleges and they can talk about it, they can look at his film and see if he's worthy of a scholarship. What about that kid?
Well, I think for the most part, from what I've seen recently, most of the teams who have tryouts, most of the kids that's on these teams are playing. I've even seen a situation where they've also had A and B teams. So I think if the kid is good enough to be on that all-star team, he's going to play. But then you also have local tournaments like you have R&R, you have DR7.
Correct.
You have Next Level.
Correct.
In Apopka. So there's areas where these kids are available to play. I just think we have to be realistic when you're going into some of those higher echelon 7-on-7s who's playing the best of the best. Your game has to be able to match. Same way with the AAU. You have AAU basketball, but you also got rec league. So you got to be able to have a realistic expectation of where you fit in at.
Okay. All right. I like that thought there, definitely. Here's one of a topic that might be very interesting for you, though.
Okay.
I played that pylon tournament, big time tournament. I got battle, big time tournament. I got shot dollar, big time tournament. But then, like you said, you mentioned the R&R, you mentioned the Next Level, you mentioned DR7, the event, different tournaments like that. What's the difference when it comes to the kids' mindset? If I'm at a bigger tournament, is the mindset different than a tournament that's not so big? What's the mindset of them when they play that tournament?
Well, I think some kids just want to compete. So you can have a dog at any tournament who wants to go out there and win.
Mm-hmm.
I do think there would be a little bit more pressure for those who are at, your higher events
Mm-hmm.
to perform.
Mm-hmm.
But I see dogs everywhere. You're going to probably have some kids, because remember, this is just 7-on-7. When you put that football equipment on, you can be a 7-on-7 star and be average when you put the pads on. So you're going to have kids at some of these smaller events who end up going further than the guys at these high-level events. So it just all depends.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I definitely agree with that. I'm sitting here, sitting down, and I'm thinking like 7-on-7. Wow, is it worth it? Should they do it? Should anybody just cancel 7-on-7, just run track? Should they count 7-on-7 and try another sport to work out and train, do some speed training, some agility training? I'm asking myself, why that thought? Why is that even a thought now? Right? Something's triggering it. Because I'll never forget when I had a coach came to me and say, Coach Lo, my boys don't want to play for you. I said, why? We're winning. We got battle gear. We're fully loaded. We got everything they want. Only thing we didn't have were cleats. Why not pay for Coach Lo? I know colleges. I'm a marketer. I'm a promoter. Now, if I had D2, D3 school back then, coming to our trials, coming to our practice, I bring sports writers to the practice, to the trial. So how in the world they don't want to play for me?
Sometimes people like something new.
Well, they like something new now, but or is they like to go where they can just line up and do one-on-one or just show up to the game. Now, that's two different things, because I know why they don't like me.
Well, you know what? Some kids don't like, you know what? Let's just open it all the way up.
You're right.
Some kids don't like structure. They feel like, listen, you too hard on us, it's too structured. I want to let my hair down.
Yeah.
And there's some coaches out there that are going to allow those kids to have their hair down.
Well, yeah, well, no, and we're starting to see where that go by letting their hair down, right? Because the guy told me they say you practice too hard, you're trained too hard. Kind of my 707 practice. Oh, we doing speed, agility, condition, running uphill. We doing position training, 707. We doing a whole 9 yards for 2 hours nonstop. So they don't want to come do that work right there, not because they don't want to get better, to my opinion, because when they go to other 707 programs, guess what they do? Line up, one-on-one. Some show up, some don't. They're from everywhere. They go play a game. The easy way out. Are we setting them up for failure?
I was telling the guy one time, how do you not practice and then you end up going to college to a coach that requires you to practice hard? And then the problem is a lot of these times, with these kids, it's hard to turn that switch on. If it's been off for so long, you don't easily just flip it on and off like that. And so if you're not used to structure, hard practices, training and discipline, and everything's laxed and easy, well, what happens once you get to that next level? You're not going to be ready.
You struggle.
Yep.
They struggle. I even see a 707 about struggling. I watch some of the quarterback don't go through their progression. I watch a receiver do 500 moves before they do the right route. I watch the guys go up top just because they want to go up there when they should just call it easy one way. I watch guys don't even know how to sit in the hole when they're in zone coverages. I mean, I'm looking at this. I'm like, what is the purpose of it? Why are we spending all this money just to go to have fun? But now when it's time to go on bus tours or go to the colleges or go do recruiting or visit or go to college camps or regular camps that have writers and coaches and you can network, now you can't go because I spent all my money going to this trip and I badly played and we lost and we just jumped around and had fun. I really didn't learn nothing. Why they're choosing that over taking the money to where it really gonna benefit them? Why you think that's so?
It has to be a mindset. People don't know what they don't know. People are more so into the flash. More flash than substance. This is going to get me some likes and views on social media. This might allow me to go viral, but this might not get me into college.
There it is. There it is. You don't hear it in now.
Yeah.
You don't hear. I didn't want to look good. I want to do some backward flips.
Right.
You know what's so funny about backward flips in 707? They're amazing. Do you see the guy, how they can do 15 backward flip and land a backward gainer? Unbelievable. Then they'll run forward and jump forward and do a front flip. Yep. Then they do a round off and do a twister. Then I'm like, man, these boys are good. Why didn't there be a gymnastic? Why didn't there be a gymnast? I mean, all that talent, if you got, that's some talent. I'm not being funny, but wow, maybe football's starting to change, so they better start thinking about some other things they can do because all that talent do all them flips, there might be another sport for them. I'm just keeping it real. Right. I'm just keeping it real, man. No ifs, ands, buts about it. All that talent, jumping around, all that, they're interesting, huh? Very interesting. But I did look at 707 and route and where it's going. And of course, we got to go ahead and get on this topic.
Okay. And
we talk about professional guys. We talk about guys that retire from NFL or retire from basketball or retire from any sports. And they go coach AAU basketball. They go coach 7-on-7, right? The guys are high guys and guys we look up to when they were playing football, guys that come back and give back to the community. And you want, we should embrace them guys. This guy, he's made it. He made it. He made it to the NFL. He made it to the next level. This guy here was, one of the best of the best. Or, so them guys we should embrace, right? But do we embrace them because they made it? What about the other side of it? Because you can embrace the ones that made it, but they made it, what they're doing now, what their characteristic now, what their behavior now, how they're acting now. Because you didn't know them when they was throwing that ball up and down the NFL on national TV. But you see them now. Your thoughts on the Cam Newton and the Top Chef TJ. Two guys that's prominent in the community.
Mm-hmm.
Top wide receiver trainer, NFL great. He's one of the best players that played it.
Mm-hmm.
College, national champion. Big brawl that went down. Now, for me, it's two sides to every story.
Mm-hmm.
What I did see was a professional giving back. I did see a top trainer giving back, helping these kids get some exposure to play football, 7-on-7. What's your thoughts on that?
I got two things.
Mm-hmm.
When I was in the military, I'm a retired military veteran. The highest ranking person in the room in every area that we were in, he was the one that was there to control the room. He was the temperature controller to make sure things didn't get out of hand.
Right.
So I see two things here. The first thing I see with Cam, I always say, before you get in each other's face, you were separate talking before you get in each other's face talking.
Right.
My only thing with Cam, you already have the most money out there. You're the most successful guy out there. You are the biggest name out there. You are the biggest brand out there.
Mm-hmm.
You can't go down to their level.
Mm-hmm.
You have to avoid it.
Right.
Some people say, oh man, Cam stood on business and grabbed them up. But when you hear Cam talk today, I listened to a little bit before I drove over here, or while I was driving over here. And Cam Newton said he was talking to one of the guys with his company, and they say, Cam, you can't do that. So while everybody yelling about standing on business, it's image. Mm-hmm. Cam, your image got tainted because nobody knew them. No matter how successful the wide receiver train is, nobody knew them. They knew you. Mm-hmm. Second thing, in the black community, trigger alert, we don't do a good job anymore of teaching our young black men conflict resolution. Mm-hmm. We think that the strongest is the one that out-talks the other. Mm-hmm. The strongest is the one that's able to diffuse it. Mm-hmm. How many black men do you know and I know that are in jail or dead because they could not keep their composure? If somebody would have just said, you know what, Cam, you got it. Or if Cam would have said, hey, you know what, bro, this ain't the place. Or they were once friends. So I'll add in one more. Not only conflict resolution, if me and you are working together and we part ways, let's part ways in a respectful way.
Right.
We can agree to disagree. We can have a difference of opinion. We can grow in part and we can move on.
Right.
But a lot of times with us, when that happens, it leads to beef, it leads to drama, it leads to heartbreak, and it didn't have to. So the situation could have been avoided if Cam would have took the high road, or if even the other guy would have just said, you know what, you got this. We'll talk about this another day.
Correct.
But that wasn't the time, because now again in society, all over sports world, mm-hmm. black people don't know how to act.
That's right. Well, you know what? And speaking of know how to act, let's roll right into that don't know how to act.
Okay.
Well, there's more ways to give back to the community mm-hmm. than 7-on-7.
It is.
Because in camps,
okay,
I do camps all around the nation. Mm-hmm. I haven't seen one fight yet.
Okay.
I've been doing camps for 9 years, but mm-hmm. I've really been doing it as a camp king for about 3-4 years, but really elevated camp king this year. Mm-hmm. No fights. No fights at camps at all. Right? No fight. So why not just stay in the camp world, Cam, and don't go involved in the 7-on-7 world? Because the 7-on-7 world is problematic, not entertaining. See, I can entertain a camp. Mm-hmm. Having fun, we're competing one-on-ones. Mm-hmm. They know to act right. We got real professional NFL coaches. Mm-hmm. We got writers. We got a sports writer. We got the database. We got rivals. We got On3. We got 247. So you know what? We ain't trying to act up right here because they're going to tell on us to the colleges.
Right.
Over here in 7-on-7, it's so entertaining that the writers might say something, they might not. It's entertainment, right? No, no, it's problematic. 707 is problematic, automatically. I like 707. I did it for 15 years, but it now became it's switched from entertainment to problematic because they come with the mindset of dogging them out. They come with a different mindset of what they're gonna do when they get there. They rehearsing the dances. Yeah. They rehearsing how they're gonna do this when they score a touchdown. They ready for it. They preparing for it. But when you go to camps, you prepare for your position drills. What's your thoughts on that, Charles?
I think what we've lost focus on is football in itself is entertainment.
Right.
You going out there and putting your God-given skills on display and your talent. That's entertainment enough. What's happening is 7-on-7 is turned into a circus. Now, I'm okay with 7-on-7, you spinning the football around, you spiking the ball.
Right.
But what I don't like, you now have a place where you go and you catch a touchdown on somebody, you go behind the guy and hump him on the back. You then tap the guy on the head.
Yeah.
You throw the football at him.
Right.
You crowd around him.
Right.
All these things that we're seeing on 7-on-7, the average kid or man would not do to somebody in the streets.
That's right.
Because that would lead to a fight or somebody getting shot. Now, one of the other differences I see, Lo, at a football game, when you're in the stands, most of the time with the band playing, the kids can't really hear what the adults are saying up.
Correct.
But now in 7-on-7, you got a situation where you got the parents, and I've talked a little healthy trash talk.
Yeah, of course.
Everyone I ain't never called nobody sorry or nothing like that. But now you got parents calling kids sorry.
Yes.
And then you got kids cussing out adults back. And I'm going to be honest with you, I'm shocked at some of these 7-on-7 events that more people haven't got shot or more people haven't gotten hurt because it is really it's toxic. Right. Not every event, but there's a lot of events. And what I told one coach, Lo, I said, one of the problems I have is you guys turn these kids up, but you can't turn them down. Once you turn them up,
you can't turn them down.
You can't turn them down.
It's interesting. I had a guy told me that a kid get into it, punched another kid, knocked them out. Police came. The parents gonna file a report, not really for the knockout, because the kid ran off, grabbed his backpack, and did like this right here. So the parent looked like, oh, call the police guy. Why? He have a gun in his backpack, they say. But he didn't have a gun. It's just what they portray.
Yeah.
They portraying gun. They portraying, they have this. They portraying, they run like they
the music out there.
The music
is talking about shooting and killing.
Oh, it's almost like they put in your head, they bang in your head, they go out there and hump, do all the bad things. Now, do some kids go out there and get better and learn how to run routes and throw balls and defend? Yes, they do. But the other side of it is we got to know how to just go out there, play the game, coach the kid up, get your thing, sit in the corner, and go home. But now that's hard to do too. You know why? The coach is under fire. One program sent a flyer. I'm going to call out Shook Tournament. Said, win $30,000. 707 tournament. Woo! $30,000 if you win. Now, I don't know the full breakdown of that, but that would have said on the flyer, $30,000. So you mean to tell me, I got a team, I'm going to put it together, I got to go try to win $30,000, I'm going to put these boys on a whole nother level. We finna go. Well, y'all got to win. Now you're mad they throw the touchdown interception. You're pissed off he got beat. You're upset at him. Yeah. You put the pressure on him. He yelling at the kid, cussing out the kid. They took $5,000, went to the tournament in Houston, Texas somewhere to win $25,000 because you take the $5,000 out of the $30,000. Now they playing for money, big money now. It's a pros and there's some cons.
Yeah.
You have to decide whether you want to be part of the problematic or entertainment. It's up to you. Here's one thing I tell everybody, and I tell everybody that listen to Lo. You can't tell them about what to do with their money, and can't tell them about what to do with their kids. All you can do is give them advice and hope that they listen, hope they come out safe. Because now, with the money involved, the anger involved, all that ties in when they go back to school. Because now the kids thinking, I play for money. I don't play for fun no more. So now we're going to high school, and now we've been talking about NILs. Now we've been talking about, I'm going to go this school because they got an NIL in high school now. Now I'm going to this college because they're talking about getting money for the NIL in college. So we got an NIL here, NIL there. It's all about the money. But we know because of the portal, everything has changed.
Yep.
Here, we got to remember this. And I always tell people, the NFL is a dream, a college degree is reality.
Right.
But now with the portal and the NIL, a D1 scholarship is a dream.
Yeah.
A college degree is still a reality, but it might not be at no D1 school because of the money, the NIL.
But you know what, though, Lo? The problem that we finna see now is we've still had a financial literacy issue. So while everybody chasing this NIL money, who's talking about financial literacy? So the same way 60% of sports players end up broke after they playing days, you're going to see the same thing happening with these high school and college kids if nobody teaches them financial literacy.
Well, guess what? Next week, we got Dan LaFarge coming in, our financial advisor, financial guru, and he's going to talk about the financial literacy. He's going to talk about how it works, the breakdown, to make sure that they understand the process through NIL, the difference from collective money and the brand money.
Gotcha.
The difference from paying taxes and not paying taxes. The difference from continue getting your financial aid money or not getting your financial aid money because you're getting NIL. Educate the parents, educate the kid so they make the right decision and they get the right person to support them, the right person to represent them. So I'm so excited about episode 2 coming next week. I want to make sure everyone stay tuned. We're definitely excited tonight to have the man, the youth community leader, the youth sports commentator, youth mentor, a father, a husband, a great man, and a man that played football himself, a state champion. Know how to feel like to be an undefeated football player at a younger age. Know the game. Been
State
in the
champion
game.
in Little League, not high school.
Little League.
Yeah, Little League.
I'll take that.
Little League, not high school.
Well, we know what? Little League. No, right. A lot of people hard to be a champion.
It is.
So a champion is a champion. Whether from Little League to high school to college to NFL, you know what it feel like to be a champion. A lot of kids don't know what it feel like to be a champion. So you can give them that experience. Y'all make sure y'all stay tuned. Y'all come every week. Y'all continue to follow Charles Carr on Facebook. Follow him on Instagram. Follow him to make sure you get what you need, right? Because he's going to feed the brain.
And listen, Lo, I got to thank you for allowing me to come on. You've been doing great things in the community. Y'all better listen to Lo. Continue listening to Lo. It was an honor and a privilege to be your first guest on this segment. I know the rest of the episodes I'm tuning in. I can't wait to see what you got in store.
Well, I sure appreciate it. Thank you for coming. And once again, guys, that's it right there. That's episode 1, right? Rap Talk Show right here. Listen to Lo. Lo knows. Do I tell you? 2 ears, 1 mouth. I'll leave you with a quote also, too. Be yourself because everyone is taken. And always remember, everything you do in life, it's a mindset of greatness. There's commitment of greatness. There's sacrifice of greatness. And there's a passion of greatness. If you follow them things there, nothing can stop you from being the best that you can be. Y'all stay tuned. Follow Rap Talk Sports. We got excelspeed.com. Coach Lo for Life on Instagram. # Camp King. All that on YouTube. This podcast is going to be the next big thing. And we know it because we know sports. We know mentoring. We know coaching. We know training. A lot of great speakers going to come on the show. Stay tuned next week for Dan LaFarge. We're looking forward to having One Sapp, Ray Lewis, Aaron Jones, Chris Johnson, Brandon Motherweather, a lot of popular greats because we have that relationship. And more to come. A lot of our local leaders are going to come inside too. And we want you to be right here first to hear everything we have to say. Because it is the future of our youth. It's the future of our youth, sports. We want to make sure we don't change things. You're going to be a student athlete, not an athlete student. Because there's nothing without knowledge. And just remember, it's bigger than football. It's bigger than me, as long as you know. And you will hear all that every week by listening to Lo. Thank you, guys. And let me get 2 claps. Woo. Gee, that was 58 minutes, almost a whole hour. Yeah, it was squeaking like hell. I told him.